Hey guys, Frosty Knives here, doing a quick video. Gonna try to do something different this time. I figured, since I've seen other folks do this on their videos, I would try it and do it on mine, see how this works. So for this video, what I've decided to do was I've decided to let you pick the next book that I'm going to read and review. So I picked out 4 different books from my collection of books that I've never read. And I figured I would present the 4 choices, and then people would vote on them. And then the ones that got the most votes would be the ones that I read and review next. I see people doing this with movies, so I figured, why not do it with books? So, here are the 4 choices that I sort of just randomly picked. I went through my shelves of books that I have never read. And here we go. The first book is Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. And I'll read the backs of these books so that you kind of know the gist of it. It says, Richard Mayhew is a plain man with a good heart and an ordinary life that is changed forever on a day he stops to help a girl he finds bleeding on a London sidewalk. From that moment forward, he is propelled into a world he never dreamed existed. A world far stranger and more dangerous than the only one he has ever known. I have never read a Neil Gaiman book, so I figured, what the heck? We'll see. So there's choice number 1. Choice number 2, throw in a horror book. We've got, by Saul, The Right Hand of Evil, which I've never reviewed on my channel, but I like Saul. I've read a lot of his books. He's sort of the parallel to Stephen King. So The Right Hand of Evil says, when the Conways move into their ancestral home in Louisiana, after the death of an estranged aunt, it is with the promise of a new beginning. But the house has a life of its own. Abandoned for the last 40 years, surrounded by thick trees and a stifling sense of melancholy, the sprawling Victorian house seems to swallow up the sunlight. Deep within the cold cellar and etched into the very walls is a long, dark history of the Conway name. A grim bloodline poisoned by suicide, strange disappearances, voodoo rituals, and rumors of murder. But the family knows nothing of the soul-shattering secrets that snake through generations of their past. They do not know the terror that awaits them. So there we have Saul, The Right Hand of Evil. The next book that I randomly picked out is by Kathy Reichs, and it is Deja Dead, the very first Temperance Brennan novel. I watch a lot of Bones, and I decided that I was going to go and try some of the books. Never read this one, but this is the very first book Kathy Reichs ever put out. I figured we'd throw a mystery thriller in here, in the mix. In the years since Temperance Brennan left behind a shaky marriage in North Carolina, work is often preempted her weekend plans to explore Quebec. When a female corpse is discovered meticulously dismembered and stashed in trash bags, Tempe detects an alarming pattern. She plunges into a harrowing search for a killer. We all like kind of mysteries and murders and thrillers, so from Bones. So there's that one. And then finally, a New York Times bestseller, one that has intrigued me for a while, but I've never read it. By Stieg, Larsson, it's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Swedish author. Harriet Wanger, scion of one of Sweden's wealthiest families, disappeared over 40 years ago. All these years later, her aged uncle continues to seek the truth. He hires Mikhail Blomqvist, a crusading journalist recently trapped by a libel conviction to investigate. He is aided by the pierced and tattooed punk prodigy Lisbeth Salander. Together, they tap into a vein of unfathomable inequity and astonishing corruption. So there are the choices. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Deja Dead, Right Hand of Evil, or Neverwhere. And I'm going to leave this open until Friday and give you guys time to ponder and peruse and think about it. Friday at midnight is when I'm going to keep this open until. And then on Saturday, the one that has the most votes will be the next one that I read and next one that I review. So guys, there you go. We're going to try something new. Comment at the bottom. Subscribe. And yeah, let's do something different. And I'll wait to see what book I'm going to read next.